This is the IELTS listening test. You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have the chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 parts. At the end, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Part 1. Part 1. You will hear a phone call between a man and a receptionist of a holiday cottage. First, you have some time to read questions 1 to 6. Now listen and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning, Rosewood Cottages. This is Linda speaking. How can I help?
Hello, I'm looking to book a cottage for a week in August. I found your website and had a few questions before I go ahead.
Of course. May I take your name, please?
Sure, it's Martin Bishop.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. What dates are you considering?
From the 12th to the 19th of August for 1 week.
Let me have a look. Yes, we do have availability during that week. Will it just be yourself?
No, I'll be coming with my partner and our 2 children, so 4 of us altogether.
In that case, I'd recommend our Foxglove Cottage. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 double and 1 twin. There's also a full kitchen, living room, dining area, and a private patio garden.
Sounds ideal. How much would it be?
For that week, it's £680. That includes bed linen, towels, Wi-Fi, and access to all our facilities on site.
Do you require a deposit?
Yes, it's a 25% deposit to secure the booking. That would be £170, and the remaining balance is due 7 days before your arrival.
Right. What time is check-in?
Check-in begins at 3 p.m, and check-out is by 10 a.m. on the day of departure.
Is there parking on site?
Yes, the Foxglove Cottage has its own private driveway. It fits 2 vehicles easily, and there's no extra charge.
Excellent. Is there a town nearby in case we need supplies?
Yes, Windmere Village is about 2 miles away. It has a grocery shop, a bakery, pharmacy, and a few restaurants and cafes.
Good.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
Speaking of the kids, what sort of activities are nearby?
Quite a few. There are several nature walks around the area, many suitable for children. The lake is a 15-minute walk and offers paddle boats and small rowing boats for hire. We also have a games room on site and a small outdoor play area.
That all sounds great. What about bikes?
We offer bicycle rental, £10 per day per bike. We have adult bikes and child-size ones, plus helmets are provided free of charge.
Can I reserve those in advance?
Absolutely. How many do you need?
2 adult and 2 children's bikes.
I'll note that down. Do you have any pets coming along?
Yes, we have a Labrador, very well behaved.
Foxglove is pet-friendly. We allow up to 2 dogs per cottage. We just ask that pets are not left unattended and are kept off the furniture. There's a £25 cleaning fee for pets.
Makes sense. Are there any restrictions?
Yes, dogs must be kept on a lead in communal areas, especially around other guests and near the car park.
Of course. Does the cottage have a washing machine?
Yes, there's a washer-dryer along with an iron and ironing board.
Handy. And how do we get the key?
We use a key-safe box system. You'll receive a 4-digit code by email 48 hours before check-in. The key will be inside a secure box by the front door.
That's easy. So no need to meet someone in person.
That's right. It's all contactless for your convenience, though our site manager is available during the day if you need anything.
One final thing, what's your cancellation policy?
If you cancel more than 14 days before your arrival, your deposit is refunded in full. Between 14 and 7 days, you get a 50% refund. Less than 7 days, unfortunately, no refund unless there's a medical emergency.
Fair enough. I'll go ahead and book the Foxglove Cottage for the 12th to the 19th.
Excellent. I'll just confirm your email address to send you the booking form.
It's martin.bishop82@gmail.com.
Got it. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly with payment instructions.
Thank you very much for your help, Linda.
My pleasure, Mr. Bishop. We look forward to welcoming you.
That is the end of part 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Part 2. You will hear a manager giving orientation session about the volunteer responsibilities and center overview at a museum. First, you have some time to read questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 15.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lakeside History Museum. I'm Martin Davies, the Volunteer Engagement Officer, and I'll be introducing you to the museum and your potential roles here. The museum was established in 1988, originally located in a much smaller building across town. As our collection grew, we relocated to this larger premises in 2005. Which now houses over 10,000 artifacts spanning local history, natural history, and early industry. Each year, we receive more than 70,000 visitors, including many school groups. Let me explain some of the areas where you'll be involved. One of the most important volunteer roles is within the Heritage Gallery, which showcases the region's agricultural roots. Volunteers here assist with crowd management and sometimes offer brief explanations of exhibits. No prior experience is necessary. We'll provide training and cue cards with key facts. Next is the archival room, where we keep historical documents, maps, and personal letters donated by families. If you're detail-oriented, you might enjoy helping to digitize these records or assist researchers by retrieving requested materials. Please note, this area is quieter and more restricted, so it's suited for volunteers who prefer minimal public interaction. We also need volunteers in the children's activity area. This part of the museum is popular with young families, especially on weekends and holidays. Activities include paper weaving, traditional games, and story time. Volunteers set up materials, keep children engaged, and help clean up afterward. Your shifts will typically last for hours, and we encourage volunteers to commit to at least 3 shifts per month. You'll be able to choose morning or afternoon shifts, and scheduling is flexible around your availability. We ask all volunteers to wear a green name badge, which you'll be given today. This helps visitors know who to ask for help, and also helps staff recognize new volunteers. Finally, one of the most exciting opportunities is to take part in our annual Autumn Heritage Festival, a 3-day event featuring live demonstrations of traditional crafts, costume displays, and food stalls. Last year we had over 6,000 attendees, and volunteers were absolutely essential to keeping things running smoothly. That concludes the first part of today's briefing. After the break, I'll walk you through some changes we're making based on visitor feedback and what trends we're seeing in museum education.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 16 to 20. Now, listen and answer questions 16 to 20.
Thanks for coming back. Let's now move on to some of the feedback we've received and how we're using it to improve the visitor experience. Earlier this year, we conducted a survey with more than 500 visitors, asking for thoughts on new technology and engagement methods in museums. First, we asked about the QR code labels that we've trialed in the Industrial Tools exhibit. These codes link to videos showing how the tools were used historically. The idea received praise, especially from younger visitors, but a few older attendees mentioned difficulty scanning the codes. As a result, we'll be adding small printed summaries beneath each item for easier access. Next, we asked about the new augmented reality station in the Natural History Wing. Visitors can use tablets to see extinct animals like woolly mammoths brought to life digitally. Feedback was enthusiastic. Many said it made learning more fun and memorable. Some suggested adding sound effects, and we're exploring that now. The third point focused on the community timeline wall, where guests can add personal memories or photos related to the town's history. This has been surprisingly successful. Some were skeptical at first, but visitors have enjoyed reading others' stories and even contributing their own. We also received comments about the cafe. While most enjoyed the menu, a number of guests said they'd appreciate more vegetarian and vegan options. As of next month, we'll be updating the offerings to include plant-based soups, sandwiches, and desserts. Finally, the issue of accessibility was raised. While the museum has ramps and lifts, some noted that signage for these features could be clearer. We've now designed a new set of directional signs, including tactile maps at entrances for visitors with visual impairments. That wraps up the update on our recent improvements. You'll now split into groups based on your chosen departments and meet your volunteer mentors. Thanks again for offering your time and support. We're looking forward to a great season together at the Lakeside History Museum.
That is the end of part 2. You have half a minute to check your answers. Part 3. Two students, Priya and Daniel, are preparing a joint research project for their sustainability and business module. They are discussing the structure, content, and presentation of their work. First, you now have some time to read questions 21 to 25. Now, listen and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hey Daniel. I'm glad we're finally sitting down to plan this project. Have you had a chance to look over the brief?
Yeah, I went through it last night. It's actually quite broad, but that gives us room to get creative. Did anything stand out to you?
Definitely. I think we should focus on corporate sustainability strategies. It links well to our course, and there's tons of current material available.
Agreed. And maybe we can narrow it down by selecting a few industries, like Compare how the fashion and automotive sectors are approaching sustainability.
That's a great idea. Fashion's notorious for its environmental impact, and automotive companies are really pushing electric vehicle strategies now. The contrast could be interesting.
Exactly, and it also gives us enough variety to include multiple case studies. Maybe we can take Zara or H&M for fashion, and Tesla or Toyota for automotive.
I like it. I'll start gathering background data on Zara and H&M, especially their supply chain practices and sustainability claims. You take the car companies?
Sure, I already have a few reports from Tesla's 2023 environmental filings. Toyota's been a bit quieter, but I'll look into their hybrid technology focus.
Great. Let's plan the structure then. I think we should begin with an overview of what sustainability in business actually means.
Definitely. We can define the term, then explain the 3 pillars, environmental, social, and economic, and show how companies attempt to balance them.
Then maybe move into the industry-specific sections?
Yes, fashion first, then automotive. We can highlight both challenges and innovative practices.
For the comparison, I think we should build a matrix. Something visual that shows criteria like emissions, waste reduction, supply chain transparency, and so on.
Love that. I can build it in Excel and turn it into a clean chart for the slides.
Perfect. We should also include a section on greenwashing. It's a real concern, especially with companies exaggerating or falsely advertising their eco-friendliness.
Good point. We can pick examples from both industries where there's been criticism about misleading sustainability claims.
Should we include financial data as well? Some investors look at ESG scores before putting money into a company.
Yeah, that would strengthen our argument. I'll check if any of the companies we're covering have published recent ESG reports or impact assessments.
I'll look too. Also, do you think we should collect any primary data?
Maybe just a small survey. We could ask fellow students what brands they perceive as sustainable and whether that affects their purchase choices.
That's manageable. 10 questions, quick responses. We can use Google Forms and circulate it today.
Okay, I'll handle the form creation. You write the questions.
Deal. Now, about the sources, Professor Malik said we need at least 6 academic sources, and a few industry reports are fine too.
Noted. And she emphasized referencing. APA 7th edition only. No footnotes. No MLL.
Ugh, I always mess up the APA formatting. This time I'll use Zotero. Saves time and errors.
Good call. I'll do the same. Do you want to set deadlines for our sections?
Yes. Let's have our individual sections drafted by Wednesday. Then we can edit and build the slides together on Thursday.
And rehearse Friday.
Yep, that'll give us breathing room before submission on Monday.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to read questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Speaking of rehearsal, how should we deliver the presentation? Are we sticking to a traditional slide format?
I think so. Slides are clear and familiar. But we should avoid cramming text. Use visuals, charts, bullet points, maybe a couple of quotes.
Agreed. I'll handle slide design for the automotive section, and I'll keep everything on brand with the university template.
Cool. I'll do the fashion section and try to find side-by-side images to show the difference between fast fashion and sustainable design.
What about our opening? Should we start with a quote or a question?
Maybe a rhetorical question. Can companies really be sustainable, or is it all just marketing? That would set the tone nicely.
I like that. Then I'll introduce our topic and go into the basic definitions.
Should we include a theory to underpin the analysis?
I was thinking about stakeholder theory. It fits. Companies must balance the needs of shareholders, customers, suppliers, and the environment.
That's a solid framework. And it shows we're engaging with academic concepts, not just surface-level stuff.
Exactly. We should also prepare for questions during the Q&A. Someone might ask about how we determined whether a company was greenwashing.
Right. We'll need to justify our criteria, maybe show evidence from third-party audits or inconsistencies between their marketing and actions.
Good idea. Also, Professor Malik was very strict last semester about citing all visual sources, even ones we make ourselves.
Already got that covered. I'll add proper citations to every image and chart I use.
What time Friday should we rehearse?
Let's do it at 3 p.m. That gives us the morning to polish everything.
Works for me. Let's absolutely record at once so we can spot any awkward phrasing or timing issues.
Smart. We should aim for 12 minutes total. That's what Malik prefers.
All right. Looks like we've got a good plan.
Feeling confident. Let's make this our best group project yet.
That is the end of part 3. Now you have 30 seconds to check your answers. Part 4. You will hear a seminar about the role of insects in ecosystems. First, you have some time to read questions 31 to 40. Listen and answer questions 31 to 40.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's lecture is focused on a group of organisms that are often overlooked, yet absolutely vital to life on Earth, insects. Despite their small size, insects perform essential roles in ecosystems that support not just plants and animals, but humans as well. To begin with, insects are the most diverse group of organisms on the planet. There are over 1 million described species, and scientists estimate there may be as many as 10 million in total. They occupy almost every habitat imaginable, from deserts and rainforests to freshwater streams, and even glacial environments. This diversity allows them to perform a wide range of ecological functions. One of the most crucial roles insects play is in pollination. Many plants, including a large percentage of the crops that humans rely on for food, depend on insects for reproduction. Bees, butterflies, moths, flies, and beetles are common pollinators. As they move from flower to flower collecting nectar, they unintentionally transfer pollen, which fertilizes the plants. This process leads to the production of fruits, vegetables, and seeds. Without insect pollinators, many plant species would experience reduced reproduction rates, and some could even face extinction. In addition to pollination, insects are important decomposers. Species such as ants, termites, and certain types of beetles break down organic matter like dead animals, fallen trees, and leaf litter. This decomposition returns nutrients to the soil, making them available for plant growth. Insects help accelerate this cycle by physically breaking down large organic materials, which are then further decomposed by fungi and bacteria. Without this process, ecosystems would become cluttered with waste, and nutrient availability would decline significantly. Insects also serve as a food source for many other animals. Birds, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, and even other insects rely on them as part of their diets. For example, many species of migratory birds time their breeding seasons to coincide with insect emergence, ensuring a high availability of food for their chicks. In aquatic ecosystems, the larval stages of insects such as mayflies and dragonflies provide nutrition for fish and amphibians. Because they sit low in the food chain, insects are a foundational part of many food webs. Another ecological role insects play is pest control. Some insects are natural predators or parasites of other species that damage crops or spread disease. Ladybugs feed on aphids, a common agricultural pest, while parasitic wasps lay their eggs inside harmful caterpillars, eventually killing the host. By maintaining a balance among insect populations, these natural enemies help control outbreaks and reduce the need for chemical pesticides. However, despite their importance, insect populations around the world are declining. Studies have reported significant reductions in both the number and variety of insects over the past few decades. Causes include habitat loss due to agriculture and urbanization, pollution, use of pesticides, climate change, and the spread of invasive species. This decline has serious implications not just for biodiversity, but for the functioning of entire ecosystems. Let's consider agriculture. Without insect pollinators, many crops would produce smaller yields or require costly artificial methods of pollination. Some regions have already experienced this, resorting to hand pollination by humans, which is time-consuming and expensive. Additionally, the loss of natural pest controllers can lead to increased reliance on chemical pesticides, which often have unintended effects on non-target species, including beneficial insects. In cities, green spaces that support insect life, such as gardens, parks, and roadside vegetation, can play a crucial role. Urban environments often fragment natural habitats, but thoughtful planning can help mitigate this. For example, planting native species, reducing light pollution, and creating insect hotels or nesting areas can encourage local insect populations. These efforts not only support biodiversity, but also educate communities about ecological interdependence. There is also growing interest in the potential of insects as a sustainable food source for humans. In many cultures, eating insects, known as entomophagy, is already common. Insects are high in protein, require less land and water than traditional livestock, and produce fewer greenhouse gases. Farming insects for food and animal feed could become an important solution to global food security challenges. In scientific research, insects serve as model organisms due to their short life cycles and genetic simplicity. Fruit flies, in particular, have contributed enormously to our understanding of genetics and development. Their fast reproduction allows researchers to study multiple generations in a short time, making them ideal for laboratory studies. Insects are also being explored in biotechnology. For instance, silk produced by silkworms has inspired the development of strong, lightweight materials, and certain beetles have helped researchers understand natural iridescence and color reflection. Even the structure of insect wings is being studied for innovations in micro-drone design and aerodynamics.
That is the end of part 4. You have now 30 seconds to check your answers. You have now 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet.